Hello and welcome to the Grad Dialogue. My guest today is David Kirk. David Kirk grew up in Owensboro, however, has have worn quite a few new hats, and just recently he was announced to head the I guess your title would be the head destination management for the Visit Owensboro. So again, welcome. But those of you who may not know, David went to University of Kentucky and received a bachelor's degree in broadcast journalism and with a minor in communication. And I have known him when he was working with the television, working with Grad and everything else. We had our time crossing each other. Then he went to the Owensboro Public Schools as the public information officer, and now we are so honored to have he will be the title will be the bring everybody to Owensboro. That's the
That's right.
David, welcome. And I think I see that on your bio that the name is the Visit Owensboro.
Absolutely. Well, it just makes sense. We're a tourism office, and we want visitors to come. Now we want people to enjoy everything that there is to have in Owensboro for people that are living here, and certainly take advantage of everything that we have. But yeah, we kind of switched the name to Visit Owensboro with our website, visitowensboro.com, all of our social media, just to keep things consistent in today's market.
There's a lot of excitement at the so what used to be known as a convention bureau, now the Visit Owensboro.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You have a new executive director,
we do.
Mark.
Yeah.
And he was on the show earlier when he came in, and now you are helping him to bring folks to Owensboro. And there is always discussion about where do you guys, your role would be, along with the we had the events director, we had the convention center, we got the River Park Center, and how do you guys work together and all those things?
Sure. Well, certainly those conversations are happening of, how can we best support each other? How can all of these organizations in our wonderful city work off of each other? How can we cross promote? We need to all kind of have a seat at the table, right? So that it works best for everyone. So with our office, what we're really focused on is obviously attracting tourism to Owensboro. Right. We're looking to put, the quote with CVBs is called putting, heads in bed. So that's kind of what our chief goal is. But with that, it's promoting things that are happening in the convention center. It's attracting new conventions and new shows. We've got a massive show coming at the start of February, the Kentucky Outdoors Show, where we're going to be bringing in, scuba tanks, and we're going to be bringing in dog jumping with into water. It's going to be something that everybody can enjoy. So that is it. It's trying to when we get those visitors, to keep them happy and keep them coming back, but then trying to attract that new business for Owensboro as well.
It's a new day. The way the Visit Owensboro that you guys are talking about. In fact, recently, now we have the one location or one place on the website, or either purchase tickets, owensborotickets.com.
That's
or
right.
something like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of providing all the work forces together, to bring people in here.
Yeah. Well, some of the best ideas I think are from debate, and when you get different people together, you really forge that perfect solution. So working together to do that. Certainly with going now by visitowensboro.com for our website, we're able to really focus on what we do and what we're trying to sell. We've launched recently a new online campaign where we're doing a lot of our marketing via digital, using Facebook a lot, using Twitter, Instagram, because what I love about those mediums is that we can measure our results. Not only am I placing that ad on Facebook, I can tell you who looked at it, I can tell you where they looked at it from, and I can tell you how many people clicked on that link to buy those tickets. So being able to really have true data to back up kind of our efforts is something we're really focusing on.
That would also help you in which market to promote.
Absolutely, yeah. What those target audiences are for the different shows and conventions.
Now you guys are also known to bring a lot of sports events. And you have a special dedicated person who works on those things.
Yeah, Jared Bratcher, who, this guy, there is no better than Jared Bratcher. He's been doing this and knows, who those audiences are. Sports Illustrated didn't name Owensboro, its #1 sports town for no reason. We have an abundance of flat land, which provides these incredible fields, our city parks, our county parks, our local education institutions that we partner with. We've really got some great space to be able to attract some of those tournaments. We just signed the softball tournament. It's an adult softball tournament in October. We took that tournament from Orlando. Orlando, Florida,
Wow.
going from Orlando to Owensboro, so we're sticking with the O's. But yeah, being able to book those things, but you've got to have the facilities to be able to do that, and we're fortunate here in Owensboro that we have those things.
Dave, when you talk about all the accolades, one of the recent accolades we all been so excited about is the Millennials decided to be the place, one
Absolutely.
of the 10 places to be in the country.
You're absolutely right. Business Insider, a national publication, named Owensboro one of 11 cities in the entire country that people are moving to. We're in the same sentence with Pittsburgh, with Seattle, and it's because we have a very affordable cost of living. It's extremely convenient, and there's also things to do. I mean, find me one area where there's not something being built. I mean, we've got all these, private developers that have stepped up and that are building stuff here for millennials to enjoy. I mean, I can just think about my friends. I went off to the University of Kentucky, settled back here because of all the opportunity that we have. And that's a reoccurring theme, and we're getting national recognition for it, like you said.
So how are you going to take advantage of that accolades to promote Owensboro? Any kind of plans to specific with that target population?
Absolutely. So I have the very fortunate role that this year I'll be actually chairing the Chamber of Young Professionals through the Chamber of Commerce. So that's those partnerships that I mentioned earlier, leveraging those. That's what's good for everybody. So you better believe I'm going to be asking those people in that group, all ages 21 to 40, like, what do you want to see? What could we do a better job of? Focusing on families. There's a new trampoline park that just opened in Owensboro. It's called Elite Air Extreme Fun Center. And it's
indoor
in the old,
trampoline park.
Yeah, it's in the old Skates Alive building, if you're familiar with that, out there on Salem. What a wonderful facility. You go in there, there's dodgeball with trampolines, there's climbing walls that have foam pits. They're finishing off their Ninja Warrior courses. So not only do we have these big tournaments in, you're going to spend time on those ball diamonds, but what are you doing when you're not in those ball diamonds? Now we've got some really good options for you.
It kind of reminds me, my grandkids are in California, and then the recent one had a birthday in one of those facilities.
Yeah, and now we have one right here in Owensboro.
Exactly.
So next time they come visit,
you
know where you're going.
Yeah. Now I know, Dave, that all the efforts that you are making and Mark is making and Jared is making, all those things does require resources and everything else. How does the Visit Owensboro or the CVBB has been supported in the past and continue to support?
Sure. Well, the way that the CVBs work is essentially it is a.
We're gonna forget about CVB. How Visit Owensboro?
There you go. How do they work?
Supported?
Yeah. So you're funded through hotel tax. That's kind of how it works. It's a 3% tax that you get for every room. So the more people we bring in, the better it is for everybody. That obviously would increase our budget and allow us to spend more money to bring people here. Whether that's through advertising, whether that's through bidding out tournaments. And the more money that we can bring in from outside, the better it is for taxpayers here, because that means the less that you're going to have to worry about here. You're creating jobs, you're providing opportunity here. One of the things we're very excited about with that, the Chamber of Young Professionals just got Lyft here in Owensboro. Do you know what Lyft is?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sir.
Lyft is going to be huge for us as a tourism community, because we're constantly, not just from locals, but when people get here, they stay in our hotels, they're here for our conventions, they say, do you have Uber or Lyft? Well, for several years, you'd have to say, well, we actually don't have either. Now we've got Lyft here. We've got ways to get people to bars, to restaurants. Providing that safe route for them to get different places is huge for us in the tourism industry.
Well, that's excellent, because I think that kind of puts us into the map as well. That we are not just left out and everything else.
Absolutely, yeah. There's life outside, as we call it, west of I-65. We've got life here. Look at the distillery, OZ Tyler. How big a news is that? They're going to be on the Bourbon Trail hopefully sometime this summer. I mean, that's huge. I think there are only like 7 other distilleries in the entire state, and now they're going to come to Owensboro.
This may be the most distillery.
This is, we're so far west that what that means for us, they're not just going to come and stop for a little bit. They're going to come. They're going to stay here. They're going to eat at our restaurants. They're going to go to bars. They're going to go to shop. And that dollar is just going to be multiplied over and over again into our economy here in Owensboro.
I read the reports that in the 2017, the hotel, the occupation, the 3% tax, the hotel tax, hotel tax rather, has been very, very successful or very healthy.
Sure.
So your budget is growing, and
it is.
allowed to do
Things, of course, there's a lot of newness going on, obviously, with those new hotels, and that's going to generate some of its stuff itself. So what's extremely important for us now is to build off that success. Okay, we hit these new records. How can we get another record? How can we bring in more? And so that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on. Looking at maybe those slower weekends where there's not typically something big like romp going on, and okay, how do we create an experience that's going to bring somebody in on those weekends too?
Talking about the romp, upcoming romp has the national
Allison
attraction.
Krauss, yeah,
Yes.
you and I were talking about that earlier. Kudos to the folks at the Bluegrass Museum for being able to book something like that. Because she not only appeals to the bluegrass audience, but I mean, she is an international superstar. She's one of the most Grammy award-winning artists there is, that's alive today. So being able, to capture not only the traditional audience, but bringing in other people. And then Owensboro, we just have to pat ourselves on the back a little bit. Our locals have really embraced romp.
Right.
And, it's just so exciting because you're not only just having those people that are coming in and staying with us and enjoying just a world-class festival, you're also having those people that live here that are embracing it. And, that's something that we really have got to do when we get this museum open later this year is embrace bluegrass. I mean, the father of bluegrass grew up literally down the street from Owensboro. So we've got to embrace that and tell our story.
And also, they also opened the new museum, or they're opening a new museum in Ohio County.
Yep,
That will
absolutely.
be connecting with the bluegrass here.
Yeah, working with our neighbors right there in Ohio County to figure out how we can cross-promote, get people to Ohio County, get them on into Davis County is something certainly we're working for.
Yeah. I know that, Visit Owensboro succeeds when everybody else succeeds as well, So even though you may or may not have a direct role to play, but everybody, even if it is a family reunion to the, conferences or anything else, it really helps Visit Owensboro. Can you comment on, a lot of things happening in downtown in terms of the construction, new facilities, the public and private? Kind of go through that and maybe see what we are looking forward to 2018.
Absolutely. Okay. So when you go downtown right now, and we're close to here at the downtown campus, you're seeing cranes in the air. In Owensboro, you've got that new parking garage, which is going to be really fantastic just because, a lot of people are saying, okay, we've got all this stuff, where do we park? That's going to be a huge help. Alorica is out there booming with Bar Louie. Awesome place to go, grab a bite to eat. You just, like I said, things just keep coming. This private investment has been so exciting. I saw recently where Jago Homes, they're going to have their condominiums that's going to go up in retail in the bottom. You've got Matt Hayden and Jack Wells's projects that are going on down there with the Enclave that's going to be living and retail. So pretty much every building that you're seeing going up, is not only going to be living, but it's also going to provide opportunities for restaurants, for bars, for shops. I mean, it's just booming right now. I mean, I can't think of a more exciting time to be downtown.
When we used to have the executive in, and now it's like a decades ago, so it's like, we used to get a large conferences, conventions in Owensboro. And now I think with the convention center, one of the state-of-the-art facility, people say, oh, that's not big enough because we don't have enough hotels. And now the third hotel, you guys will be able to market large conferences and conventions.
Absolutely.
And
you're 100% right. To attract those, massive conventions, you have to have enough rooms for people to stay. And even more so than that, you've got to have enough rooms that are, very convenient. And, Owensboro is, we're very fortunate that you can pretty much get wherever you want in about 15 or 20 minutes. So adding that third hotel right across the street with the parking right beside it, I mean, it's so convenient. But I mean, we've got hotels that, are just right down the street as well. I mean, that we'll have one that'll go in the Gateway Commons area. We've got the fantastic courtyard right there off the bypass. You've got, two Hamptons, one downtown. You've got the one right off Frederica Street. So, that's good. These big conventions are going to fill up. It's called stretching out. It's going to go beyond the downtown, and we're going to share the love, especially with that softball tournament, to those surrounding hotels as well.
So, living from television industry to the public schools and now kind of back into the promoting and everything else. How is it working out?
It's exciting. Every day is just so busy. What I've really enjoyed about it is you just get to meet so many people and just have a huge interaction with just people on so many different levels. This is, I think, my 8th meeting today, getting to hang out with you. And, it just, that outreach has been so important for me, and it's exciting.
Yeah. Well, Dave, wish you best of luck. I know we got a lot of things we're looking forward to in 2018, and knowing your energy and everything else, and all the tools you have in your bag, I think it's going to be a great thing for Owensboro and the whole region, for the 2018.
Me too. Again, I've been given a wonderful opportunity, and thank you for the opportunity to come on your show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Again, we've been talking to Dave Kirk, and he's the one that been hired recently to promote Owensboro, and also convince the rest of the world to come to and visit Owensboro. If you have any questions or comments, always contact me at the grad office, or also contact Visit Owensboro and get everything that they're offering in Owensboro and coming up in 2018. Thank you very much. Yeah. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Grad Dialogue. My guest today is Amy Silvert. And Amy is Owensboro native and graduate of Owensboro Catholic High School. She received the Bachelor of Science degree from Center College in Psychology and a Master's of Science degree from Social Work in the Kent School of Social Work in Louisville. In the fall of 2016, she accepted a position of Executive Director for the Green River Area Community Foundation, where she hopes to advance philanthropy and the betterment of the community. Amy, welcome to the Grad Dialogue.
Thank you.
And
Thanks
first
for
of
having
all,
me.
being a past chairman of the community foundation,
Yes.
and also being named as a Green River Community Foundation, I'm so excited to have you on board, and also being on the show as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and thanks for your service to the
Oh, sure,
foundation
sure,
and all you've done to help us.
First, let's talk about that. I know there was a recent announcement, last Thursday, I believe,
Yes.
about the grants that the foundation awarded to some of the nonprofit group.
Yes.
Can you comment on those? And then we can talk about what is the foundation.
Sure.
Anyway?
Yes, this past year, the Community Foundation decided to focus on capacity building grants. It had been several years since we'd had an application process for grants, so the grant making committee chose to do capacity building because of the best practices they found that had been established with that through the Community Foundation of Louisville, as well as national standards. So they wanted to help our nonprofits to be more efficient and effective in their work, so they were working more efficiently, not necessarily harder, but to get more done. So through that capacity building grant application, we had 20 applications come in, almost $147,000 in requests, which we couldn't meet all those needs this year. It was very hard for the committee to narrow it down. We had $20,000 allocated to awards. So the top 3 awards went to Girls Inc. of Owensboro Davis County, Hospice of Western Kentucky, as well as St. Joseph Peace Mission.
Oh, okay.
So
this capacity building fund that
Yes.
that we use to give out the grants, are they going to be using to promote their programs or become more stable?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It's our goal was to help them with their stability. As far as these grant funds, we didn't want them to just go to general budget needs
Right.
this year, but something that could help them sustain themselves into the future. One thing we found the application process, a lot of our local charities need help with fundraising. That's something that they're so focused on meeting the needs of their clients or whoever they serve, but fundraising is an important part of their work too. So some of them were looking for just that, a few $1,000s to get software or something that could help make them more efficient and not spend so much time in tracking Excel sheets or different things for their different fundraising projects. So we hope that, these dollars that they were awarded will not only help them get that off the ground, but those fundraising dollars will help sustain them for many years to come. So.
Now, the mission of Green River Community Foundation really is not giving out the grants. It is just that you happen to have the capacity building funds to
Right.
give out those things. Tell us about what is the mission of the foundation, and people who give out the endowment or the funds to the foundation, and how do they benefit from all these?
Well, we exist to help the community in general through our philanthropy efforts, but a lot of our work is with donors who want to give to charitable organizations. So we're a vehicle to help them to meet their philanthropic goals. So like this particular grant process was focused in Owensboro Davis County. It was a fund that was established in the early years of the foundation, when the foundation was only in Owensboro Davis County when it was created. So those dollars had to be used in the community here, but we have a broader focus now as well.
So the right now the portfolio or the funds that we have at the foundation, those are from the donors from all 7 counties.
Yes. We have I think over 65 separate funds now, and most of those are managed by individual donors or family members of those have passed on. So our foundation board only has discretion over 3 funds of those.
Okay. Okay. Now, you mentioned earlier comments that that we are affiliated with the Louisville Foundation.
Yes.
Can you comment on those?
Yes. So in the early days when we were set up in 1993, we were an affiliate of the Community Foundation of Louisville, and we found a lot of benefits from being affiliated with a much larger organization. They can handle a lot of the legal aspects of writing the contracts and getting these set up. They have staff who are able to do the tax filings for the donors. They can do the distributions to the charitable organizations. They handle scholarship applications in our scholarship funds. They also have access to a much larger pool of money that is invested together. So
you get a better return.
Yes, better return, and all those administrative fees are then over a lot of different funds. So, one individual donor isn't having to find an attorney to set up a foundation or find, a CPA to file the tax filing. So it kind of helps streamline that.
So your job is to work with the board of directors.
Yes.
Report to them how the foundation is working, and also working with the the investors or the financial advisors.
Yes.
To maybe advise clients to put the money in the foundation.
Yes, we rely a lot on our advisors. We have CPAs, attorneys, and financial planners who are daily meeting with clients, and they are hearing what it is their clients want to do with their funds, whether it's invest them or their charitable giving. So they are kind of on the front lines. So they help get the word out about the options with their charitable giving, and then can relate those to their clients, and then we can meet and get down to the nitty-gritty with how the foundation can help them.
So what is the
meet those
portfolio
goals.
now? What is the total asset of
We're
the
nearing
foundation?
about $15 million
That's pretty good. Yeah.
with the Green River Area Community Foundation. And over the 24 years, our funds have given out over $10 million to nonprofits. So.
I know that when we celebrate the 15 years of the celebration, we give out 1,000 grants to nonprofits. I think the point that it's been challenging for the people to understand is that you don't have to have lots and lots of money, for the philanthropy purpose. You could start any amount, and
That's right.
and you would help them to set up an account and then manage and everything else.
Yes, yes. We have so many different ways for our donors to set up accounts, from very simple charitable checking funds, which allow them to manage all of their charitable giving through one account, one tax receipt, just really simplified, up to our more complex funds where they can have designated to different organizations that they're going to give to, or scholarship funds. And almost like their own personal foundation through the community foundation, but it can be done with much smaller amounts than if you were to go out and establish your own private foundation.
And you would manage all the paperwork and all the things you got to do, and reporting and everything else, and they would also have a role to play if they want to decide who should get the scholarship.
Exactly. Our donors can be as much involved as they want to be. They can choose to, make decisions day to day, month to month, or if they choose to just, donate the money and say we want this to go to, organizations that help the homeless, organizations with education, focus. So they can be as much involved or as little as they want to be.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting, and we're so glad, so excited that you get on the board and being our executive director. Now, what are you expecting in 2018?
Well, we have right now we've opened our scholarship application process, and that is online through the Community Foundation of Louisville's website. Students can apply for a large number of different scholarships. The last few years, we've awarded between $60,000 and $80,000 in scholarships to students in our area. Those applications, most of them have a deadline of March 15th, so that's ongoing right now. We're also already in the planning stages for our advisor seminar. Typically, we have an annual seminar in May where we invite CPAs, attorneys, and financial planners to receive their continuing education hours through an event there. And then we also are always looking at the Endow Kentucky tax credit. There's a deadline,
Right,
July
right,
1st, to apply for those tax credit for donors who want to take advantage of that. So we always help get the word out for that.
So people watching the show, or heard about this, they want to find out how can I, put my money to the better use of the philanthropy, or even help some cause or something. How would they get in contact with you?
Well, I can be reached through the Chamber of Commerce or through email or through the Community Foundation of Louisville's website. So
What's the telephone number?
the easiest is email is amy@greenrivercf.org,
Okay.
or through the Chamber's number, or and they can get to me through that way too. So,
Well, thank you, and being on the show, and good luck to you. I know that not before long, our portfolio will go up, and I think more
Yes.
importantly, we need more participants, more people get into those things.
Yes.
And I think one thing that I learned, working with you and everybody else, is that you don't have to be retired, or lots of money to be a philanthropist. You could be
Yes.
at any age and any cause and everything else.
yes, anybody with a giving heart
There you
is
go.
is
Yeah,
able to be
yeah.
involved.
Well, thank you, Amy, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
With the Community Foundation. Again, thanks for watching Grad Dialogue. We've been talking to Amy Silvert about the Green River Community Foundation and how it could help the communities on many, many causes. At the same time, give you an opportunity to be a philanthropist in your own life. Thank you very much.